Welcome back, everyone. We are joined now by Aaron Faver. He is assistant professor of social sciences at Amarillo College. We always love to bring him in on election day. Okay, so Aaron, first question. We've heard this a lot. This is a historic election. There's never been anything, you know, all of the words. This is as big as it gets. What makes this so unique?
Well, as we were talking, I think that in March, when I was here during the primaries,
right.
one of the central, I guess, concerns that we discussed was the potential for political violence. Of course,
right.
We've had a couple of assassination attempts on the former President Trump, and we also had President Biden kind of back out there right before the Democratic National Convention.
Right.
Those were both of those events here. I mean, absolutely correct. Those are totally odd events.
Yeah, it was stranger than fiction because at one point that in my short time of being on this earth and being a part of the elections and getting to vote, I had never seen anything quite like that over what I think I've aged myself so much because it only seemed like a few months when we were talking about it and all those things happened. So here we are. I know I want to focus really in on the battleground states. What does Trump, let's start with Trump. What does Trump got to do to get to 270 with those battleground states?
He needs to kind of flip a couple of the ones that he lost in the last election. Arizona, Pennsylvania. I mean, whether or not that's going to happen, I mean, it's for grabs. I mean, depending on which poll you're
right.
looking at, I mean, they're going in each direction. I think that 538 had some of those. You know, I think what is it, 48 or 49
yeah.
out of 100 of the simulations they ran.
I looked at Nate Silver. Yeah, out of the 80,000 simulations, Kamala Harris had the edge. She had 40,012. That was her number. So I mean, it is razor thin. And I've looked at it for Kamala Harris to win. I mean, it comes down to Pennsylvania at that. That's the big prize, and we know that because that's where they spent at the final days.
Right.
They really pressed in.
Yeah, they sure did. And you know, frankly, they've spent the last 6 months campaigning in Pennsylvania. I think nobody's going to be happier than the Pennsylvanians to be done
right.
with things. Just the amount of the footprint, just not the political footprint, the economic footprint, the cultural footprint of a presidential election is just crazy.
You and I both love politics, but I will be glad when I don't receive another text asking
right.
for any money.
Same. Yeah.
That will be great. In Pennsylvania, we're probably not going to get their results because I think most people don't understand how other states count votes. They've got a unique situation on what they do over there. For example, like Georgia, they're going to have the mail-in vote. They're going to have those early votes ready to go for us pretty soon as soon as they call the election is over. Pennsylvania, not so much. We may not know tonight.
Right, and I mean, Pennsylvania was one of those states that had some allegations of interference in the last in the 2020 election, of course.
And there are plenty of lawyers there.
Right. Yeah, they've been litigating it already. You know, so I mean, it'd be interesting to find out what happens there. But yeah, I think they're going to be cautious moving forward, and when they announce, you know, start making those calls, they're gonna make sure that they do it responsibly.
Going into it tonight, I feel like this is about as tight as an election from the forecasters that we follow. That it's about as close as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And you can see that with the number of crises going on, I think, around the country. The feeling kind of well, I mean, there's clearly a direction and urgency and compare and contrast going on. So it does kind of feel like a battle of political culture, though.
And the counting is underway. Polls are open here up until 7 o'clock. We're going to start getting those results from the East Coast in pretty soon, so we're going to be following that. Aaron, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Sure.
I know it's a big deal to take time away from your family to come in. John Harris has one final look at your forecast after this. Keep it here.